Every CEO I meet is busy. Their calendars are full, their days are packed, and on the surface, it looks like control. But here's the sharp truth. A full calendar doesn't equal control. The illusion is this: booked hours equals progress. But the reality is that control doesn't come from time filled, it comes from outcomes delivered. Welcome to the Strategic Briefing, where we cut through surface problems and uncover the moves top CEOs use to scale with confidence. The purpose of this series is simple: to help you see beyond the illusion of productivity and get to the real leverage that drives growth. In today's briefing, I'll show you why calendars can't prove control and how outcome metrics give you clarity and freedom that you need to scale. Now, you may think your full calendar is proof of control. Every hour is scheduled, every meeting has your name on it. The business runs through you. But here's the contrary truth: that's not control, that's captivity. When your time is maxed out, you're not directing the business is directing you. That's the time illusion. It looks like you're in control because you're everywhere. But if you step back and ask, what outcomes did this actually create? The answer often exposes the gap and the illusion. Now, this illusion has a price. Your time ends up being owed to everyone else's priorities. Growth projects get bumped for firefighting. By Friday, you're drained, but your big wins are still untouched. A packed schedule gives you the comfort of activity, but activity without outcomes is just motion. It's not progress. Top CEOs don't measure control by what's on their calendar. They measure it by what outcomes were achieved. The shift is simple: stop tracking hours, start tracking leverage. Examples of outcome metrics that matter are things like sales that close without you in the room, margins that hold inside your established guardrails, and projects that finish on time and at standard. Your calendar tells you where your time went. Your outcomes tell whether the time mattered. Look at those around you and see how many of them are doing the same thing. Heck, I spent years making the same mistake, living in this time illusion, and having to dig myself out of that hole is how I can spot it so easily now. So, how did I move from time illusion to outcome clarity? Well, step one, I identified the growth priorities. Step two, I translated them into measurable outcomes. Step three, I built simple dashboards that track results, not time. And step four, I reviewed outcomes weekly instead of reviewing the calendar. That is how you take back control. Not with more scheduling, but with sharper measurement. So here's a quick test. Take a look at this week's calendar that you just finished. For each block of time, ask yourself, what outcome did this produce? If you can't tie a meeting or a task to a measurable outcome, you've almost certainly been living in the time illusion. Now, if this sounds like your week, a busy calendar, low outcomes, it's a sign you're stuck in that time illusion. And that's exactly why I created the Focus Strategy session. It's a short, high-impact call designed to cut through the noise, pinpoint the real roadblocks in your business, and map out your next best move. If your calendar feels full, but your business still isn't moving forward, this session will give you clarity, and it'll do it fast. Simply click the link in the description to book your Focus Strategy session today. After all, control isn't about how full your calendar looks. It's about whether the right outcomes are consistently delivered. One of my coaches reminds me all the time: presence measures time, process measures results, and results are what scale. So that wraps up this week's strategic briefing. Goal of these sessions is simple: help you cut through surface problems and uncover the deep moves that CEOs that are in the top use to scale with confidence. Remember, Growth doesn't come from working harder. It comes from building the right frameworks that keep your business stable, profitable, and ready to scale. I'll see you next week for another strategic briefing. Until then, stay focused, stay consistent, and keep building the business that doesn't just run, it scales.